Whether you're in game development or not, you've noticed the abundance of different art styles across different genres, mechanics, and storylines. The aesthetic of a game has a huge effect on how it plays and how it's received by the public. Sometimes it is clear which art style should be used. A horror game in bright, vibrant colors doesn't exactly set the right mood. Other times, it can become unclear, especially when getting into the nitty-gritty between paper and watercolor aesthetic. This video will help you make that decision, covering the differences between each style. Hello everyone and welcome to today's Fireside Chat. Today's episode is the third in our 5-day countdown to the first Pyramber Studios livestream. Speaking of which, we'll be playing The Uncle Who Works for Nintendo and Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria Simulator. 2 horror games I'm really excited to share with you all. Make sure you tune in. Anyway, let's get to today's topic, art style, and how it affects the rest of the game. We'll start by clarifying the difference between graphics and art style. Graphics are the technical aspects of the visual experience. Resolution, quality, engines, etc. Art style is the feel of the game, the lighting, the colors, the characters, and the overall look of it. This could be realistic, cartoony, watercolor, claymation, you name it. This changes the atmosphere as well as the gameplay, making it very important in game design. All art styles can be divided into 2 categories, realistic and cartoony. While realistic is more of a category on its own, many things fall under cartoony, such as watercolor and pixelated. More realistic designs can offer great detail and stunning imagery, but often require intense power to run at highest quality. Additionally, these designs can make interactable items and objects difficult to notice, which could confuse players and make the goal of the level or task unclear. Plus, realistic graphics may become obsolete as graphics capabilities increase. On the contrary, more cartoony visuals not only make interactable objects way more clear, but can still offer stunning scenes. These styles do not become any less impressive with time, aside from higher resolutions and graphics becoming available with new technology. In order to understand how each style affects the game as a whole, I'll go over each style individually, listing its pros and cons. First up is realistic. Games like Call of Duty and Skyrim boast this art style. As stated before, this art style can prove truly stunning to look at, but can become outdated with new advancements. It can also make interactable objects and items difficult to see, which can make gameplay confusing for the player. This style usually comes along with some amount of blood and gore, to fit the realistic environment. Well executed, this art style can perfectly portray a more serious story, and can be useful in horror, adventure, and RPG games. Next up is cartoony, a style seen most in Mario games, as well as many other big-name and indie developers. This style is mostly timeless, aside from increased graphics quality over time. All in all, it has a lasting appeal. The way that this style highlights interactable items and locations can make gameplay easier to follow, and gore is rarely present in this style, with a few major exceptions. It can allow more creative expression, surreal and insane landscapes, and colorful and exotic creatures. Sometimes this can create a visual masterpiece to behold. This style could be used in a variety of scenarios, from platformers to racing games to virtual board games, making it one of the most versatile of the bunch. Similar to this style is Watercolor, the aesthetic shown by Child of Light, an amazing Ubisoft RPG. In this case, it adds a whimsical, storybook atmosphere to the game, which plays along with the story perfectly. Once again, a more cartoony feel allows the creation of vivid and colorful environments, as well as inventive character design. This style stands out as one of my favorites for its uniqueness. It works perfectly with story-focused games, such as RPGs, due to its fairy tale feel. While we're on this topic, it's worth mentioning paper aesthetic, such as from Paper Mario, as these 2 styles often go hand in hand. The creative ways that everyday objects are used to represent different things in a paper style is a major draw, making it a close second on my list. This differs from watercolor, as it usually creates a more childish atmosphere, making it useful for RPGs, but best without too heavy of content. Another art style is clay. You may recognize my example for this one from my Fireside Chat on horror, Little Nightmares. To most, this clay style is seen as creepy and creates an eerie environment perfect for a horror game. While this style doesn't have much effect on the gameplay, nor effect on the timelessness of the game, it sets the stage with terror. Before a player even sees the jump scare or encounters the monster, they'll be on edge. This could also be useful in an RPG, granted, a more sinister one. Lastly is pixel, or 8-bit style, another one of my favorites. This style is 100% timeless, and is one of the reasons that old games such as Metroid still feel like a masterpiece today. Indie developers take the most advantage of this style today, favoring it rather than a 3D graphics engine. Many fan games are also made in this style. The retro feel offered by this style is wonderful, and can allow for very innovative gameplay if used correctly. Platformers, Metroidvanias, and RPGs are all genres that fit this art style perfectly, making it another very versatile aesthetic. With all of that being said, each art style has its own pros and cons. Paired with the proper storylines, gameplay elements, and graphics, any of them can shine. Which of the art styles I covered happen to be your favorite? Let me know in the comments section below. With that, just remember, we didn't start the fire, we just keep it burning. Thanks for watching.